Welcome YouTube, Texan Carpenter here. My name is Fernando, and today we're going to be creating a clamp. We're going to model this top clamp, and we're also going to add this threaded screw and add some joint motion here. So I am a new user to Fusion 360, and when I watched this video tutorial, they sort of stopped modeling here. So I thought it would be good practice for me to finish modeling the rest. And here's the starting point. I will put in the share version of this model on the description. So let's get started. First thing we want to do is go to our front view. Let's get rid of a few things here. First, let's get rid of this pipe by selecting the light bulb. And also let's hide the pins. Now we can create a new component and we can name it the top. Make sure that it's activated. Zoom in a little bit. Now we want to be able to see the sketch from our first profile. And we're going to do a few extrude operations. Now the first one, if you take a look at this model here, we're going to do a few extrude operations. Now the first one is this part here. That's sort of the pivoting point, and then we'll do another extrude for the rest of the clamp. So before we do the extrusion, actually let's do one thing before I forget. If you notice here, the clamp is not actually all the way circle all around, so we need some sort of line here so then we can make another extrude there to go forward. So let's activate the saddle, and we need to add a line. Right click on sketch 1 and edit sketch. Here we'll create line, or you can hit the L shortcut. Now we're just kind of eyeballing it here. We're not, but I think here is a good point, and we'll end there. We'll stop the sketch and activate the top again. And you'll see soon why we did that. Now we're back on our top component, and as I said before, we need to do a few extrude operations. Now the first one is going to comprise of a few so you select all those three, and we want to make sure that this is symmetric, because remember, we are modeling from the origin, so we can go both ways at the same distance. If we orbit around, you'll see how far we want it to go. When you move around, you'll notice that this box sort of grays out. You can hit the escape button, and that will bring you back to the last operation. So we can extrude by moving the arrow, and you notice it goes in both ways. And 0.35 inch Looks about right. You can go a bit further if you want to make it really, really tight. .375 inches seems to work here. And we'll click OK. Now, let's go back to our front view again, and we'll do our second extrude operation. Click E for extrude. And make sure the direction is symmetric also. We'll say 1 inch. And we want to make sure it's okay. Let's see. Yeah, it looks good. Click OK. Now we go back to our model here. We see that we need to go forward. And so let's do that extrude operation as well. Click E for extrusion and select this face. And I want to go on our front view to see how far we need to go. And we're just kind of eyeballing here. We're not doing perfect mechanical stuff here. 0.8 seems to work for me. And we are going to click OK. Okay, so we'll go to our home. Things start looking good. I'm gonna go further and do a few fillet operations. This one, let's see, we don't need much. Maybe one, and if you hit Control or Command if you're on Mac, you can select okay, it wasn't selecting that line for some reason, but now it is. Grabbing the edge, and it did the same. 0.1. You can see it here. I'm going to go ahead and save here. Okay, so the body of our top clamp is almost finished. We need to add this opening here. So let's do that. Let's go on our right view. Actually, let's add offset plane. We'll select this face right here. And we need to construct a center rectangle. And maybe we can make it 1/2 inch here. And now we can stop the sketch. And it looks good. Now we can do an extrude operation to remove some material. We'll select that and we'll go minus 1/2 inch. And let's see how that looks after we do the fillet. So we need to do a fillet here. I'm going to go ahead and do my shortcuts. F, selected edge, Control Command, select that one also. And that looks about right. Click OK. Do another fillet. Select this edge and this edge. And this is going to be a small one. .03 looks okay to me. Now let's go on the top and see how this is looking. I'm going to go ahead and activate our main body. Trying to see how everything looks so far. And I think it looks good. Okay, I realized I had made a mistake. So we finished this part on the front, and I want to go ahead and move the component. We activate the top. We'll move it up. We need to create a hole here as big as this one. .25 inches diameter. So we'll create a hole here. Extends all. And we want it right in the center. Okay, the last thing we need to do is create a joint between the top and the pin. And to do that, We'll select joint. And we want to make sure we select revolutes. And we'll click OK. And once you do that, you can freely move your part. And if you can't do it, make sure that you go to the saddle and ground your object. If nothing's grounded, then none of your joints would work. And I think that's good enough for one video. In the next video, we'll take a look at creating the screw and maybe finishing and by adding the washer and the nut. Thanks for watching.